was pretty mild incest.
Was it? Was it? Wait, hold on. I'm about to take off my headphones. What do you mean it was mild incest? I mean,
Are you watching this? Are you watching? Yeah. Are you watching this? No. You need to get with it. Are you watching this? We on a TV shit. Are you watching this? You don't wanna miss. Are you watching this? Stop canceling our shit.
welcome to the Are You Watching This podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ellen.
And I am Chelsea.
And what have you been watching this week, Chelsea?
Where do I want to start? Okay, so I want to start with I primarily this week spent my time looking for my next binge show. Like a
Okay.
show that I haven't seen before that I'm going to invest my time in, and I'm going to and I want it to be one that's been out for a long time.
Yeah.
Multiple episodes. Okay, so I started with Black Mirror. That one, I realized the seasons are kind of short, and after watching that first one, I was just like, you know what? Nope, not binging this.
Not for you?
No.
Okay.
I did watch a couple episodes, but I stopped after 3. And I did try Entourage. I think I watched like the first 3, and I was like, okay, maybe this is the one that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I still was like, I'm not sure. So then I went to ER because I was like, the Pitt's about to end,
Yeah.
and I'm going to need something to fill that void.
Yeah.
And I landed on ER. There's
Okay.
15 seasons, 25 episodes per season, an hour long each. Like it's 11 days. I calculated out 11 full days of TV.
Wow. With like no breaks, like 24-hour days.
Yeah.
Wow. That is. How long do you think that's going to take you to get through?
Drake and I were talking about this.
Uh-huh.
He's going out of town, and he thinks that I'm going to be through season 1 by the time he gets back Saturday morning.
Okay.
So that's like 4 days.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You could definitely do season 1.
I don't know. I am on episode 9 or 10 right now.
I think he did it. So it's what, 22 episodes a season? 24?
Yeah, 22, 25, something like that.
Okay. And then I feel like you could do 3. Okay. And you got 4 days? No, less than that now. Or when did you start?
He goes out of town tomorrow, so I'll start tomorrow.
Okay. I also don't know why I'm pretending like I know how to do math, honestly. So I feel like it's doable if you do 3 or 4 episodes a day.
No, I think I'd have to do 5 because if we're doing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I got 15 left, so that's 3 days. So I'd have to watch 5 episodes. Look, again, I did watch Shameless, all 11 seasons in less than a month. So
yes, I was very impressed by that. That's why I feel like I don't doubt you right now. I'm like, I
think I'll probably be done with it definitely by the end of May.
Yeah,
for sure.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. We just started April. Okay. If you're not watching anything else, sure.
Yes, and
15 seasons?
I have to watch some other shows too.
Or 11 seasons. 15 or 11 seasons?
No, 15. It was on from 1994 to 2009.
Yeah, that's crazy. God. Yeah. I don't know. I'd push it out maybe to like the end of the summer, but that's what I would do. That is what I'm going to do, actually.
I'm going to challenge myself. Have you ever watched ER?
I have not, but I am definitely going to do the watch like you're doing once the Pit is over.
It is. You know how you were saying that the Pit was getting sued by the people from ER?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched it and I was like, me. It's
really?
Except for because it's in 1994, it's a little dated. So, the terminology and the stuff that they do is different. And it's definitely more personal, interpersonal drama that really does actually drive the storyline. Other than that, it's the Pit.
Yeah. As in, like, the pace of it, the camera work.
The stuff that they talk about. I mean, Noah Wile's in it too from the very beginning. And character. He plays like a little baby. So,
Yeah, he's younger.
um, but yeah, I'm excited to see how the show changes from
Yeah,
1994 to 2009. That'll be really interesting. And
yeah.
then I'm just kind of realizing that like TV is such a great history of culture. I don't want to say a history of like, because you still have to think about the frame of like, okay, who wrote it, what the audience was, and that's going to kind
Yeah.
of dictate. And they also, the stuff that they talk about, they talk similar things that are on the pit. Like they had a trans person in this last episode I was watching.
Oh wow.
Now they probably handle it about the same, but like in 1994
Way.
ways and manner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there is trigger warning for people who have not watched ER. The first episode, one of the main characters tries to kill themselves, is not successful. And so the next episode or so, they're back at work.
Mhm.
It's their first day back, and they throw them like a surprise party.
Oh wow. Like
Yeah.
just randomly or like your live surprise party? Or within your live surprise?
It's like we're glad you're back. We're happy to have you back. Glad you're okay. But
Yeah.
what they say, they like make a crown for her out of medical material, and they're like, next time you need to get our attention, you can put this on instead.
Wait, it's one of the doctors that tries to kill themselves or like a patient?
No, it's one of the like people that work staffs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm very excited to get into it. I really
You
am.
should. It's definitely, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it. So,
Did you ever watch Grey's? I can't remember.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, at the beginning, but you stopped.
Season 7 or like in between 7 and 10. I can't remember exactly where we
Okay.
were. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever done a rewatch of that or like just not even a rewatch, but like watched a previous episode within like the 2020s? Does that make sense?
Like like one of the newer seasons.
No, as in like 2020 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we are now. Have you ever gone back and watched like the first season or second season?
Yes, because they like, I think TNT or something has Grey's marathons. And so like every once in a while I'll go in and watch those.
That?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then
No. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say how you said it's such TV, such like a awesome like time capsule for the culture, like of our world culture. That when I rewatch Grey's, I get reminded of that. So yeah.
I think it's
What were
good.
you gonna say?
I don't remember now.
Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, so what have you been watching?
I honestly, I was just watching my weekly shows this past week, and also catching up on previous shows that I was watching that I like let 3 episodes go by or something, and also catching up on the Pitt. So I really have nothing new, but I am caught up on the Pitt. Really, I'm really sold on it now. I'm shocked. I'm actually I feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
But like, how did I not see? Well, but it was slow. The buildup was slow, and we've talked about it a lot on this podcast now. But I'm there. I'm impressed.
Yeah, at some point it drags you in, and I don't know exactly what it is that drags me in, but I'm there.
It is way more interpersonal than I thought it would be. Maybe
You
that's
think?
it. I feel like by the 8th, 9th, 10th episode, you kind of understand each character's like baggage kind of situation.
Yes.
And then
But
there's
that's like
drama
10
between the
episodes
two.
in.
Yeah,
It took
agreed.
so long to get there.
Fully agreed. Yeah, I get you. Like compared to Grey's, you get that from day one, like her talking about her
Yes.
mother and all that shit. Yeah.
And same with ER. It's pretty like all the characters are established. But I guess if you think too about the way that the Pit tackles each episode, it's 1 hour at a time. So if we're being realistic, like you don't find out a lot about somebody in an hour if you're just glimpsing into their conversation for 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so true. Especially like a group of like one person within a group of people. So that's probably why it takes a minute. But it does hook you, and then you do start to care about some characters and their well-being.
Yes.
So I'm all for that. And then I finished. Well, we can get to. I finished Big Boys, which
Mm-hmm.
that was a really nice ending, and it made me cry. But then I also did look back and I was like, did I hype it up too much? I don't know. Did you ever check it out?
Yes, I did, and I think I watched the first two episodes, and I did very much like it. I just
Mhm.
wasn't, for whatever reason, it wasn't the time and place for me, and
Uh-huh.
so. But it's definitely going to stay up on like the top because I definitely did like it. I liked the characters. It was very cute. It's funny. I like where it's going, but I just,
Yeah,
for whatever reason, wasn't the right time for me yet.
I get you. I fully understand. Okay. What else did you check out?
Um, what else did I did watch a couple episodes of Life After Lockup with Gypsy Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
How was that?
It was good. She's pregnant, and yeah, she's not living with her now boyfriend, even though she's having his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
She's a psychologist or a psychiatrist, like wet dream, I feel like. You know?
Yes, yeah. It's. I'll keep watching it, but I wasn't that invested this time around because last year I'd watched The Act, and so I was like really into it.
Yeah, I get that. Anything else?
Also checked out this show. I guess it's a docu series on HBO called The History of Sitcoms, and
Oh,
it's like a 8-part series. Episodes are like 45 minutes each, roughly
okay.
that, and it is really good. And I'm also going to keep watching that kind of here and there.
Yeah.
What I did really like too, though, is that because we've also kind of gone through these history of cable, streaming, women, genres and stuff like that, they talk about
Yeah.
so many of the same things that we talked about. And I'm like,
Hey.
look at us. Like, we weren't just making it up. Like, we really were, like, actually onto something.
Yeah. Yeah, we're reputable. We know what we're talking about.
At least smart enough to read stuff off the internet.
Right. Bare minimum these days.
Okay. And then I had two other things that I wanted to talk to you about that are TV related ish. So I finished Ripley. I think I mentioned that, or I was
Yes. You were
working on
watching
it
that.
last time.
Yeah.
I did really like it. People should watch it. I did go back and look up the book because I was like, you know what? I want to read the book. And it is by, oh, now I need to double check. Her name's Patricia. I think it's Hathsmith. I'm going to double
Oh
check.
wow.
And I didn't know
I,
that was written by a lady.
yeah, me too. I'm shocked.
Oh, well, no, oh, that's the movie. I was like, Patricia Highsmith.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the one that did it. And so I'm going to read that. And because I've also talked to you about how I would like to have a segment at some point, or
Yeah.
even maybe instead of doing a recap, like a read a book, watch the TV series kind of
Ooh, I
thing. Because
like that.
I really like doing that to see
Yeah.
what they
The
did.
yeah, the adaptation, the difference, the yeah. I really
Hmm.
like that. I'm for the read and then watch and review it that way than
Hmm.
just having it as a topic. I feel like that
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
cooler.
Perfect. And
Yeah.
then, so did you watch the season finale of White Lotus? Spoiler alert.
I did. I did. I got up and then I was gonna go on Twitter and I said, "Hold on." I know the first tweet I'm gonna see will ruin the whole thing. So,
Yes.
so I watched
Yeah.
it that morning, and I did not like it.
In what way? Like you just didn't like how it ended with the characters, or
I just thought it was White Lotus is like a exploration of characters. It's
mm-hmm.
not more so a storyline, but like a whatever of the characters, which I feel like we were getting. But I feel like the depth of it all wasn't really enlightening. I was like, okay, like I don't know. What? How did you feel about it?
I mean, probably about the same. I didn't. I kind of. This sounds bad, but he's not a real person as a character. I wanted Lachlan to die. Like, what was
I
that whole thing going
agree.
on?
I agree. I think he could have killed somebody within that family. I just don't
Yeah.
understand. Mike White took he was too kind to them. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think that there could have been a little bit more turmoil there. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I still liked the actors and the story. So, I mean, I enjoyed watching
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think it was a great display for the actors to like showcase what they've got, their range and all that stuff.
Hmm.
There were some great monologues, dialogues, all of that. But then by the end of it, I just felt like, yeah, it just fell flat. And I was like,
Hmm.
you could have, I really don't know why what's it called? Spared that Southern family.
Or
Really.
spoiled them.
So, yeah.
Although, we don't know what's going to happen when they get back home. And I have a feeling that the rest of their lives are not going to be super great.
Yeah,
At
but they'll
least, for
still
the
be
next year or so.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll still be okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, we've totally spoiled it for everybody. So, and we didn't even say spoiler alert, but also, if you live under a rock, that's the only way it's not being spoiled for you at this point. No, that is
Here,
the only way it's not being spoiled for you.
I'll do a little audio clip now and then move it
Okay.
to when we need it. It's like, spoiler alert. And then when we
Okay.
start talking about it,
You'll put in them.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm. And people are going to be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that was not cut right, but anyways, well, who did I? Oh, I forgot. Oh, the dad reveal of like, I am your whatever. I feel like we knew that, and I feel like it could have. I don't know. It was just very odd. It was very
Hmm.
odd. It was
Yeah.
very odd.
Yeah, because a lot happened in like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a little rushed.
Did you know that Mike White like solely wrote it? Like, did you know he does not have like a writers team behind the show?
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. And then I saw that was like someone's shady way of pretty much being like, this is why like you need a writer's room. So I saw that piece of info and I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Because it was getting into the land of like Tyler Perry and
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he
Did
was
I send you?
spread too thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Did I send you that tweet that said something about Mike White is the Ryan Murphy, gay Ryan Murphy, if he was interesting, or what was it
Yes.
that said? I don't remember, but it was
So
funny.
yeah, that was funny. That people pleaser line by Locken, that was a Ryan Murphy line. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
The whole incest thing was very Ryan Murphy,
Very like what?
but
Also,
it was pretty mild incest.
was it? Was it? Wait, hold on, John. I'm about to take off my headphones. What do you mean it was mild incest? I mean,
In the very first episode of Game of Thrones, it ends with Cersei and her brother, I'm blanking on his name despite the fact that I read all the books,
yeah,
having sex, doing it doggy style.
yeah,
That is incest. That is
yeah.
strong incest. They tiptoed around incest. They did stuff that people should not be doing with their siblings, but
Okay. I think my only critique of that opinion is Game of Thrones. You were able to not disassociate, but you were able to not take the Cersei and brother thing as seriously.
Jamie, that's his name.
Jamie, yes, as seriously because it was set in like a whole different like fantasy world. I really do think so.
I get that people believe that because that's what they say, but I cannot. I refuse to buy into that excuse because even when I was reading the books, like George R. Martin is a little perv, and he's sitting in his basement on his old DOS computer writing all these pervy things, and he mentions their age. He's like, this 13-year-old girl got out of the bathtub naked with her perky breasts, and I'm like, couldn't you have just made her 18? This is a fake world, like.
Yeah, fair.
So I'm not. Somebody still made that choice, and they're
No,
putting it on our screen.
yeah, okay, yeah. On for the writing of it, I agree. I just think Mike White choosing to do it in 2025 in a setting that is very 2025 makes it way more in your face and like like too close to home. Does that make sense?
Yes,
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
But yeah, I do agree that actual penetration of incestuous acts is the ultimate incestuous act. I get
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
But a handy as well is very
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
also because I got brothers, like that it was just way too, it was too much.
Yeah. That's visualization that nobody needs.
No, at all.
The other thing, because you and I have kind of talked about this for whatever reason this season, they're doing a lot of White Lotus crossovers, with like other brands. So was it
Yes.
Crate and Barrel or something that was doing
Yes.
a collaboration with White Lotus?
White Lotus, yeah.
They Coffee Mate Creamer was
I
doing
saw
one,
that.
and one of the flavors is pina colada.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I did not see
That's
that.
that's
But I did see the thing.
I mean, that's really good collaboration, very clever, very funny, but
Yes.
also that's a little much.
It is. Would you ever? So the creamer is pina colada flavor? I would
Hmm.
never. Would you ever? I would never.
Probably not. I'm sure it probably just tastes like coconut milk or something,
Fair. Yeah.
which people, there's creamers like that, but that's not for me,
Yeah.
not personally.
Neither.
But yeah, I think that's it. I got caught up on the studio. Kind of same with you though. This week was kind of just stayed up on everything.
Yeah. I did attempt to watch that Pulse medical drama on Netflix that
Hmm.
dropped, but after doing like the whole Pitt, it was too. I was like, I need to watch something else before I go into another medical drama. But it was way more sexy, and I did like it,
Hmm.
so I will check it out from the
Okay.
first episode.
Yeah, it's still on my list, and I had kind of the same thought. I was like, maybe I'll watch this, but I was like, you know what? Too much medical dramas this week.
Yeah. I guess there is one more other thing. I
Hmm.
did watch the documentary on Apple Plus, TV Plus, uh what's it called? Number one on the call sheet
Hmm.
of the black actors, number one on the call sheet, and then black actors. There's 2 episodes just focused on black actors and black actresses of Hollywood. And I I haven't finished the second episode of the black actresses, but the first episode made me cry, and I think it's really worth checking out. It did make me cry because they do like a whole section on Chadwick Boseman, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
yeah, just and then they were getting the other actors to talk about him, and it was just they couldn't. It was just so emotional, but it's not as what's it called? It's good, it's interesting, but I also don't think you really walk away knowing anything very new. Does that make
Is it
sense?
just the 2 episodes?
Yeah, just the 2 episodes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It's
I'll
like
check them out though.
yeah, it's worth checking out. It's good that they put these people in front of the screen to also like tell their story and their little
Hmm.
anecdotes about the industry and what they've gone through and who their inspirations were and all that. Um, but it also is just like, damn, we also still got a long way to go. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Add something else from the list. Apple TV as well.
yeah, it's worth it. And Jamie Foxx apparently was one of the producers on it. So
Oh, nice. Like that.
yeah. Thank you.
All right, you ready to move on to our noms? Because I have an answer for you from last week.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna overlap here. For your considerations, what you got?
Hmm. Well, so last week we had the debate on should it be Catherine O'Hare that gets the
Hmm.
Emmy or Catherine Hahn. And after watching this last week's episode, I say it's
Mhm.
Catherine Hahn. Now, part of the reasoning also, though, is that she hasn't won an Emmy and Catherine O'Hare
Mm.
has. And so
Mm.
I think, it's her time. I
To
think
be
it's her
fair,
time to.
yeah, a lot of people thought she was going to win it for the well, she didn't even get nominated for the Marvel show, which I still haven't watched, that she
Agatha.
helmed. Agatha, yeah, apparently she did a great job in that.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
I did watch that show and I did like it, and she was fantastic in it. Absolutely
okay,
deserves
I was
it.
gonna say, uh oh,
It's just the storyline really, to me personally at least, really deviated, kind of went off the tracks pretty hard in the last 2 episodes, especially the very last one. And so I just was very confused
okay,
maybe that's just my own stupidity. You watch it and you're like, no, Chelsea, this makes complete sense. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. It just felt like it went in a completely different direction than the first 8 episodes or however many there were. So
that's odd.
just be prepared for that.
Okay. So, but Catherine Hahn gets. Are you locking that in? Do you want to nominate her, or you just have an answer for me from last week?
I mean, we can. It was more of an answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll lock it in. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's give it to her. I guess so. Do you have anything else?
Well, I am officially nominating the Pitt. It's official.
All right. I am too. I actually have a couple for the Pitt.
Okay.
Are you just doing it for best drama?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that. I am doing Noah Weil for best actor. And so this is not a spoiler, but there is an episode episode and one of the patients that comes in is giving birth. And I just think the way all of that was shot, I even had to Google how it was all shot because it was so realistic. I think the closest thing I've ever seen to a birthing scene is an actual birthing video. And the fact that they did that for TV and apparently it was all prosthetics, mind blown, incredible TV magic really in front of us. So I did want to give what did I put down? It wasn't special effects. I don't know.
We could do some research.
Okay. And also the director. And her
of that
name
specific
is,
episode.
Best director for episode 11. And her name is Quan Tran. She's Asian, so I don't know the first name. I apologize, but Miss Tran. I really hope she gets a nomination for that because, yeah, to even go into that much detail and precision. And also, I think that's the beautiful thing about having women directors is that no one else can produce something like that with such detail because unfortunately, not unfortunately, but men haven't given birth, so they don't really know. And I just think women can give a scene like that so much care and love. And yeah, I hope she gets nominated.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that episode, that one was probably, I can remember it very distinctly. And I agree with you. That was a really great episode. Best episode so far, for sure. I only have one left. And the only other time I've seen a slightly as realistic, but not even as realistic, was House of Dragons. They had a birthing scene.
Yeah, that
was also very graphic, but it still was not. It was not as this. I mean, that one was like a frame, right, of what was happening. This was action,
whole thing. Yes, yeah.
You could actually see it coming out.
Yes. I was legit thinking, is this acting anymore? Is somebody actually giving birth and they just signed their rights to allow this to be on screen? What? But then you saw his hand go in there and I was like, but that, how are they actually cutting this? This is incredible. Incredible. Mind blown. Still blown.
So, yeah. I didn't do the research. So I'm glad that you did because I honestly, I was kind of I think they probably somehow just got some it was real, I guess. I thought it was actual. Somehow they superimposed these videos together. I don't know.
Yeah, I did too. But then I was like, but that's a lot of red tape. So there has to be a different way. But
yeah,
now
they did a great job.
All prosthetics, which is crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm in a way I want to go back and rewatch it, but also I've seen enough births. I don't need to.
I'm gonna do that again. Yeah.
I kept meaning to say these things because we've kept talking about the Pitt, and Drake has not been watching it with me, but anytime I say the Pitt, he starts singing the song from Parks and Rec, the Mouse Rat, the Pitt song. I fell in the pit. You fell in the pit. That song.
Classic.
But another reason we sing that song so much is because Drake like 4 years ago, decided that he was going to build a fire pit in our backyard. And so he dug a very large pit into the backyard. And then it just stayed a pit until recently. And now he's like slowly refilling it with like fallen branches and like blown leaves and stuff like that and weeds from the garden. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
To
whenever we
finally
look
make
at
it a
it,
fire pit.
no, we're just closing it back
Oh,
up.
just
Yeah. Nothing was done. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know why this made me laugh so much.
Because it's hilarious the fact that he spent all that time digging it and then like realized,
like, nope.
yeah.
That's funny. And so
Yeah.
that's why you guys also sing that song.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because whenever he's talking about like filling in the pit, we'll just start singing it. So
Yeah. That's I'm glad you shared that finally. That has brought so much joy into my life.
I'll send you a picture of the pit.
Please do.
It doesn't look as bad now, but or like it looks less like a pit.
Yeah. Just send me a picture. I was gonna start asking details.
How big is it? It's about probably 8 feet long, and because the
What?
backyard is slanted, in some areas it's probably 3 or 4 feet deep, and then some of the other sections though are only like a foot deep, if even that.
Did he shovel or did he like?
Yeah, no, he shoveled it.
What?
Yeah, he worked very hard on it. He got a level out, like
That's
yeah,
why
he had a
it's so
whole.
funny.
Yeah, he did a great job digging it. It just
Yeah, just didn't commit. I think that's why it's so funny to me because it's like if you're gonna go to those lengths, you think you'd finish, the project, even if it's 4 years later, as it is. I wouldn't start covering it back up, but hey, to each their own.
Well, we already have a fire pit, so I think he just realized that like the one that we have is good.
Is it those like did you dig a hole for this one or is it those portable like the
Well, it is like just made a little area on the ground that you put rocks around like a circle.
so it's an above ground
Yes, but it's like it's just to prevent it from spreading.
Yeah,
It's made out of like rocks from the backyard.
Yeah.
But when we first were working on the house, it was made out of cinder block. So it looked really good. But we upgraded.
The joys of home ownership, people. Get into it.
I think that's all the nominations I have for this week.
Okay, same here. Yeah, same here. Just I'm Pitt obsessed right now, and I hope I get over it soon.
Yeah, and I want to nominate one or multiple actors from Righteous Gemstones, but I need the season to finish before I can like either pick a specific episode or character or something like that. So
yeah, okay,
I'm working on that one.
I do have 2 things I wanted to randomly say. One, did you know that going back to White Lotus, the son Lachlan, whatever, do you know he's a Nepo baby?
No, I did not. Who's his parents?
Emily Mortimer. She played she was on The Newsroom. I don't know if you ever watched that. Also, she was on 30 Rock. She's like well known, but that's her son, which
all right.
And then I just Googled him and he's dating Judd Apatow's daughter.
Maud or the
Iris, the younger one.
The younger one.
Yeah.
That makes sense because I think Maud's closer to our age.
Yeah. Which I thought, cool fact, that White Lotus had more than one Nepo baby in there, and he was the one who flew under the radar, which very cool for him. And second thing I wanted to say, what was important? Oh, yes. They're like doing Emmy campaigns right now, and Deadline had this event, like a TV contender event. So whatever, I follow them on social media, and Big Boys was like had like a day for it. So It looks not Big Boys, my bad. Deli Boys.
Oh,
Deli.
okay. I was like,
Yeah.
was
Deli
is that
Boys.
more recent enough? Okay. Yes, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yay. Good.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so their Hulu is like, trying to get them seen and nominated. Yeah, so hopeful for a nomination.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited then.
I am too. Okay, so we just get into our topic.
Yeah.
So this week's topic, we have decided to do just like an end of Q1, best of, worst of, thoughts, opinions, shooting the shit about the TV shows from the last 3 months. 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. And I also added if we are going to do this 2025 Q2, I've added some podcast data, because I keep track of TikTok or YouTube will show you how many views you've had or how many downloads you've had. And so I've written some of those down too, so we can see as the quarters go on, if there's growth.
If we
Hopefully
improve.
there is. Yeah.
Oh
So I'm just
boy.
curious. And
And
then
for
I also have,
everybody,
yeah.
go ahead.
No, that's really it.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say for everybody listening, I have no intel. I don't know the numbers at all, and I prefer it that way. But if we are revealing this, I'm nervous, but I am excited, but I'm nervous.
I think you'll be happy enough. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! And then we get to have our listeners share the growth with us.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just to kind of see how it's
Yeah,
going.
I like that.
Because it makes me think of a manager's meeting where you talk about all the numbers and the good, the bad, what it looks like coming up. And so
Yeah, that's funny. Forecasting and all that stuff.
yeah. Year to date.
Yeah.
Just start using all of those business terms. Profit and loss, bottom line, ROI.
Fucking capitalism. Okay. Let's start with best of. What, and we both said we're gonna do 3 each, maximum. I don't know, maximum. But I did manage to get 3 in. But if you got more, always
I'm gonna have to cheat at my own rules because I have 4, but only have 1 for my least favorite. So
okay, that's fair.
Yeah, just move one over.
Yeah. Okay. What do you? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do it in no particular order, or are we gonna
No particular order. Okay. But I also do hope you were brutal. I know we are kind people, and art, it takes a lot for people to make art, and we don't want to shit on people's attempt. But I went into this thinking that I'm the Simon Cowell of judgment. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah. Because this is our personal opinion.
Yeah.
All of this. This is opinion of ourselves. It's not a reflection of our employers or our family or anything of the sort.
No. And sometimes people have shit opinions, and that's okay. But
not us, but some people do.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's okay if you think our opinions are shit. We'll allow it. Chelsea is nodding her head. No, it is not.
I didn't say anything.
What do you have for best of?
I got the Pitt. I mean,
okay.
You didn't include the Pitt?
I didn't.
Well, that's good. I'm glad then, so that we're having some variation on our lists.
Yeah. Okay. You got the Pitt. Do you want to do one-on-one, or do you want to expand on the Pitt?
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't feel like this show is necessarily revolutionary, but I just think it's good TV, and it is a show that I wasn't super it didn't suck me in from day one. It really grew on me, and I'm just really impressed. So I'm like, you know what, if I got sucked in and I kept watching it week to week, then it can't be a bad show. I'm there's something there to it. So
no, you are a real one at day one. You were there from the go, and you said, you know what, I'm sticking to it. And I'm sort of jealous. I'm like, damn, that first episode threw me so off. I was like, no. But you were like, all right, let's keep going.
I was committed. Well, okay, so if the Pitt's not on your list, then what's on your list?
I did Paradise.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. I think from the first episode, it got us all hooked. And I think it did a good enough job carrying the storyline to the end. I think there were solid performances. And I think the buzz it got was really organic. Like it was because of the story that was being told and the performances that we saw. And yeah, I'm really happy for them. And I think they did a great job carrying like TV shows in Q1. Yeah. I'd be interested to see the numbers of like the most talked show on social media for Q1 or something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I bet we could look it up. I probably would take a second now, but maybe we can put it on a
Yeah.
to-do list and we can either for like Q2 we could do that or like an end of year
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
kind of look
True.
into it. I
Yeah.
put Paradise on my list too, and I agree with what you're saying. I think the performance is really good. For me, it was the story. The first episode hooked me.
Yeah.
I mentioned it was corny and cheesy, but I liked that part of it. It just was kind of in and out, so it threw me off a little bit, but I
Yeah.
loved it. I was so curious where the story's going, and like I was invested with these characters 100% from the get go.
Yeah. Agreed. And also, I feel like it's fair. I was gonna say it was an original premise, but I don't think so. I think we've had a president. Have we had like a secret agent? I don't know. I don't know if it's an original premise, but
I think it's not 100% original in that we have doomsday shows, but I think that
right.
and we have had shows where people hide under bunkers or like movies. Like these aren't new ideas, but I think the way they
Yeah.
put them together and presented it, like there is like a act that it's like America, but just underground. There's a president.
Yeah.
There's all this stuff, which
Yeah.
I remember on the first episode when you don't know what's happening and they show
Mhm.
like they're walking across the town square and you don't know it's underground. And in my head, I was like, that fake ass town square, like I know that. I've seen that before. And I was like, oh, because like it is fake.
Yeah. No, I think I literally thought the same thing, and I was thinking about Stars Hollow. I was like,
Yeah,
this is very like
it is the same set. It is like that's where they filmed it.
for real, like for real.
Yes, yeah.
What?
Yeah. That
Okay.
set's like, if you pay attention, they use that set for so many shows.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's just from
Oh
like different
no.
angles and stuff.
Yeah. Now I've got to look up how many shows and if I was ever like, something went off in my brain as I was watching it. That's really a really fun fact, actually. That's really cool.
It's because
So we
it's on the
got
like W. Oh,
oh, go ahead, WB lot.
yeah. And so it's like
Yeah.
one of their main sets.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, what's your second one?
Deli Boys.
Hey, me too.
Okay. Yay. Okay. We have a little bit of overlap.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about why?
I just, it, I went into it with no expectation. I don't want to say low expectation. You were like, this is good. You should check it out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I had heard buzz about it online, but I told you I was like, I was curious, but like not super invested. And
Yeah.
I just ended up really, really enjoying it. I think it's a unique comedy that we haven't seen in a while. And I like that
Yeah.
it's bringing new stars to the screen and to the writing and directing and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I agree. Same, 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 same. And it is legitimately funny. Like I laughed out loud.
and the characters there are tropey characters, but they're done in such a fun way that you're not
Yeah.
tired of watching them.
Yeah, and it's like respectable. They're still
Hmm.
like being like they're paying respect to those tropes. It's not. Does that make
Yes.
sense? Yeah.
Yeah, like because the brother's kind of a stoner druggy guy, and so he kind of
Mhm.
plays this like a little bit forgetful, kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
it's also like one of his strengths because he's very sweet and understanding, and so he's
Yeah.
like a little bit of a contrast to his other brother who's not those things.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess what we're trying to say, folks, is there's depth to these characters. Definitely not what do they call it? One
Two
dimensional.
dimensional. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
one
One of
dimensional.
those dimensions.
Dimensions.
Yeah.
Less dimensional.
Yeah. Okay, Deli Boys. Nice. I really like that. What was your third?
Adolescence.
What? Me too.
Okay, well there we go then. There we go.
Yeah, we know good shows. Okay.
I almost like if I had to take it down to 3, I was gonna take out Adolescence only because
Mm.
it was 4 episodes. Like if I'm thinking about a series,
Yeah.
like we'll probably get a second season of, I was like, it doesn't quite fall into that.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Beautiful. It made me very sad, and I don't think I'd watch it again though.
No, agreed. Yeah, agreed. I'll tell everybody else to watch it and give you no warning whatsoever about what it's about. But I think just watching it the once is, you get all you need to get from it that one time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so funny. Okay. Nice. And what was, because you said that, I'm very interested to know what your fourth was. Like, what were you going to take Adolescence out for?
The Pit.
Wait, you said the Pit.
Yeah, the
You said
Pit, Deli Boys. I did all the same 3 as you, just plus the
Oh, and then, okay, gotcha.
Pit. Yeah. So if you were like, no, Chelsea, we have to only do 3, then I was like, okay, I'll make the decision.
Okay, nice. Okay, so we're pretty much in agreement of what
Yeah.
good shows were, like what the good shows of Q1 were.
Which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I think we watched a lot of TV in Q1. We reviewed one that did not make the list, which I think is hilarious.
I actually did think about that. I was like, it was good. I am not going to be talking about it anymore. And maybe that's just because we exhausted ourselves, but I'm moving on. I want to see season 3, but like there's nothing to do in between then. So it's done for.
I agree. What did you ask yourself any questions as you were making these decisions? Was it like performance based? Was it like, what would I recommend to someone for sure? Like, and for sure, no, they would, even if they might not like, they would get why I would recommend it kind of situation.
I think it really was. I just listed the top ones that came to my mind and then narrowed it down. And then I kind of thought, okay, would I recommend this to somebody? Would I watch? Like, I just kind of thought about why do I like this? And
yeah,
I narrowed it down to these because they're the ones that I was the most excited to watch the next episode, and I was the most engaged in.
Yeah, like it was just good TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, nice. Do you have anything else to add?
Nope.
Okay. Then we're gonna carry on to the worst of.
I just called it least favorite, but yes, we can call it the worst of.
No, I said we're Simon Cowell. We are
okay.
The worst of. Give me your first one.
Okay, yeah, because I have 2. I thought I only had 1, but I added one, which if we're calling it the worst of, I don't know if it belongs on the list, but it's definitely my least favorite of one of the shows that I saw. Okay. The worst one, and we can use that term, is Mid-Century Modern. Like, that was just bad. We don't need that on TV right now. We can just rewatch sitcoms.
That's funny. That's hilarious. You said it's a waste of space. Let's put something back on that's been there.
Right now, this time, with tariffs, girl, in this economy, like there's things we could. I would rather have more episodes of the Deli Boys.
Yeah, I agree.
Watch Mid-Century Modern.
I feel like we can put Matt Bomer into way better use. Is that how you say his last name? I hope so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
So I agree with you. Did you finish it?
No, I watched those 4 episodes and I was like, that's it. That is enough.
It took up way more of your time than you needed. I hear you.
Is it not on your list? What is on your list then?
It's not, because there was a lot. I could have put what's the one I hated on Watson? Not hated, but like, you know what I mean? I was like, should I put those? But I feel like I expressed that I did not like them. So I was like, no. But what I did put on my list, Love is Blind. Absolute stinker.
Okay.
Yeah. They've been pretty bad seasons, but I think this one took the cake.
Yeah, especially in comparison for like the last 2, which ended up being pretty good. This was they took a step back for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I put that down. because we were looking forward to it, and I feel like we talked about it and made us look hella bad on this podcast. I hate when people make us look bad. It was at no fault of our
ourselves
own.
look bad.
No, we didn't produce this. We didn't make the show.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We went off what we knew they could give us, and they just like dropped the ball.
I did almost put Temptation Island under like the best because it really engaged me. Like I was so surprised by how much I liked it, and so but then I was thinking about, I was like, it's not good TV though. Like at no point can I say that it was. Well, it is.
If it was good at what it is supposed to be good at, that's good TV.
I don't know what it was supposed to be good at, but it kept
like
me,
the drama of it all, the scandalous.
Yeah, it was just the fact. It was really the stupidity of the men. The fact that I'm like, I can't believe you were doing this on camera, and then gonna look your girlfriend in the face and be like, "Nah, I didn't mean anything."
Yikes, that's funny.
So I didn't put it on the list.
Okay, I feel like if there's another reality TV in QT too, that's good. Well, we'll have Love Island for sure, I think, but we don't even know that would be good. But if there's something else, I feel like you should. Again, if it's good at what it's meant to be good at, the stupidity of it all, whatever, I think it's worth putting on the list.
But do you think I should have put it above Deli Boys, Adolescence,
No.
or Paradise? Maybe
No.
the Pitt, just because, like...
Whoa, not too much on the Pitt. No. I told you I'm obsessed right now. No.
We'll leave it
They're
alone.
excellent.
All right, so which other show did you hate?
I put White Lotus.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate it. But I was a little let down, so.
Yeah, not a fan. Have you been seeing did you see I think it was Variety or either Hollywood Reporter interview Mike White did at the end, and he revealed a lot. Like he talked about was it the music composer who like quit? And he shared his opinions about that, because I saw that news before, but then with this interview he spoke more about that, and just feel like he let a lot be known, and I'm just like, what's going on? Is he okay? I don't know.
I think it's the first time he's getting negative feedback, and he's like, hell no, you weren't here. You weren't making these decisions.
Yeah, and he's like, which, fair, because I would too. I would stick up for myself too.
That'd be me. I'd be like, you all are stupid. I'm sorry you don't know good TV when it's right in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm sorry. Did you write a whole 10 episode season and know what you're? No, clearly. Yeah. So, I get that. That's fair. But yeah, he was very much sticking up for himself.
He was being spicy. Like his responses were, one of them was like, if you don't want to enjoy my show, don't start, like, don't.
Like, I'm edging you?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly, but I was like, did we have to phrase it that way?
Yes. I'm like, oh my God. But he's great. But yeah, this season was a no from me. And the first season was a doozy. Second one was good. And I just felt like it maybe could have gotten better. But yeah, this season was just whatever.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not going to stick in my mind as much, except I did like Chelsea and Rick's character and the incest. And probably Parker Posey's character.
You liked the incest?
No, it's going to stick in my, like, when I think about White Lotus, there's so many of the other things I remember about the other seasons, and this one, that's all I'm going to remember.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. And yeah. And I also think that's why I didn't like it, is because it was like the scandalous parts of it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That you are always gonna remember. So I was like, it's easy. It was too easy in terms of like.
Yeah, like what was Belinda's purpose of her son being there?
Oh my God! And let's not talk about that. Writing of that son, Mike White. Next time, call any of your black friends. Any, please.
I thought that he was gonna get murdered, and that was a whole part of the storyline. I was like, he's
him
gonna be
coming in.
Yeah, and then Belinda's gonna be like very distraught, and like that's.
Yeah.
But then they just ride off happy, and they're. with their $5 million.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he could have taken it so many different directions, and he just chose to take it it was very nice. Like, it was actually very kind, apart from Chelsea and Rick, but it was a very kind ending.
Yeah, he could have made it a lot worse.
Yeah. What did you have? What was your second one?
The second and last is Running Point. I was disappointed by it. Again, I laughed, and like I probably will finish it, but for it being Mindy Kaling with the cast that it has, the writers on it, I think it could have been more.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. I didn't put it on there, but I would have put it on there if I thought about it. But I've just chosen to not.
Do you only have 3 though? Then for your hating list,
I just had the 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to be clear, I hated a lot. I hated a lot of things, but I just don't think it's worth repeating what I hated.
Yeah. And I think there's a couple of things I wanted to put on the list, but technically they were like from the end of last year or something. And so I was like,
yeah.
Well, if we're doing technically Q1, then I can't do that.
Same here. Like, I wanted to put on the best stuff, I wanted to put like Shrinking and stuff, but I was like, that was last year. Wouldn't count.
Can't do it. But we can nominate them for Emmys. So
yes, we can.
They'll still get their dues.
Yes, they will. Also, speaking of dues, what's it called? The Emmy campaign thingy that I said that was happening, that Deli Boys is like a part of, Running Point is, and it really upset me seeing Netflix putting money behind that, and I really hope that just dies down sooner than later.
Didn't they got picked up for a second season? Yeah. So I'm sure that's why. But I see, and I'm like, that's why I put it on my least favorite, just because again they're putting money into. I just feel like we could put money into other shows that bring something else to
something new,
the screen. Yeah,
I get that. Someone tweeted, because, and I haven't watched it yet, but the Dying for Sex show with Michelle Williams, I haven't watched that yet. Have you watched it? I'm guessing not.
No, it's on my to-do list though.
But someone tweeted that they watched that, and it felt like with that show and Running Point, it was like 2010 TV shows like got the green light and they're only now just coming out. And I was like, that's what Running Point felt like. Like, it was just a bit outdated.
It probably is true. I mean, it 100% could be true. I wouldn't doubt that.
I agree. Okay. I guess the things I just put was any other all around thoughts on Q1.
I just have my stats for our stuff online.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Am I?
I think so. Okay, so I have TikTok. So this is all time from when we started posting. So we'll say January to now. So it would be Q1 because that's when we started posting everything. So do you want to guess at all, like how many views we've had on TikTok?
No.
Okay, so it's 20,000.
Okay.
Yeah. And then YouTube. Do you want to guess on YouTube based on the TikTok number?
Yeah. No. Okay, I'm just gonna say, is it more? It's more.
No, it's less.
Okay, damn. Okay. What was that?
It's 14.
Okay.
But it also doesn't, I think it was just the shorts.
Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. Now, I will say, because we also upload the episodes.
Yeah.
The most one has gotten viewed is like 20 views. But
that's pretty good.
It's a longer run, right?
Yeah.
So you get more watch time. Because I think we have like 54 hours of watch time on YouTube.
Okay.
But the short is the views, like that they measure how many people have engaged. So then we have podcast downloads. So how many people have downloaded an episode? That doesn't mean they listened to it. So, it's 725 downloads.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, all time. And so each of our episodes roughly, I did Google. I was like, what defines a successful podcast?
I like that. What did Google say?
And it said that like if your episodes get 20 or more downloads within the first 7 days, then that's doing a lot better than 50 or if not more percent of podcasts.
Okay, shit.
But most of ours, we're like almost there. They have like 16 or 17 within the first 7 days. After like a month, they'll have like 60, but like the first 7 days. So there's engagement. There's engagement.
The fact that people okay, hold on, pause. Do you download podcasts or do you just listen as they're uploaded and or yeah.
It depends. Sometimes I'll download them. Like if I'm going to travel, I'll make sure they're downloaded on my phone so that if I lose service, then I can have them. And some, it actually might auto download because you can have a setting that if it downloads.
Yeah.
So I think it will download like the newest ones and then erase them after a week or something. But anyway, so I don't do it all that often.
Yeah, I only ask because I only do it when I travel too. So that's really interesting that we've gotten that many downloads. I actually think that's way fucking cooler than the listening stat you're about to give me. If that is a stat you have.
Oh no, I don't have that because I don't know. I don't think they can tell you how many people have listened. It's just at least through what we use Acast with the stats that they have. It only shows like downloads. After a while, if you get enough, it'll tell you average listening time and stuff like that. But we have to get more listeners to get that data, or they're only listening for a minute. They're like, well,
I hate the sound of these voices.
So out of the 725, I did also want to break it down because we've talked about where our demographic is. And I think I know because of you and your friends and family, it makes it very diverse and I love it. So I wanted to do the top 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So
dang, 5.
86% of the downloads is from the US.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
29%, or no, sorry, 4%, 29 of the downloads is Tanzania.
Hey, shout out to everybody.
3.5% is Canada. We have 1.8% is the UK. And 1.7% is South Africa.
Hey, that honestly just might be me.
It's 12 downloads. You said you don't download it.
I don't download. And I've honestly only listened to like 2 episodes since I've been here. So, I wonder who the other person is.
Whenever you wrote it on whatever that thing was at the store or...
Probably.
Maybe because you're there, it like just knows to promote it to people around you.
Oh, I hope so.
It's creepy and tracks you like that.
True. The UK one is also throwing me off. I do have people in the UK, but wow. Yeah, I don't know who it could be.
In Canada, I mean, 3.5%.
I do have a cousin in Canada, and she's been supporting and telling her friends. So shout out to you.
There's also there was a download or 2 from Russia. So
what?
Yeah, probably the KGB's listening to us and like
trying to see if they can recruit us.
Yeah, or just like, oh, this is how we're gonna infiltrate pop culture.
Right. Have their agents be like, make sure you know that are you watching this podcast because it's a thing that's happening in America.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was interesting. I do kind of keep track of it just to see general
if the
engagement.
Shit is worth it.
Yeah, I would do it even if it was just us and a couple of friends, but I like the idea that it's more than that listening. I hope everybody's enjoying it. And then so I just thought it was interesting.
This has made me so happy.
Oh, good. Yeah, I was worried. I was like, I don't know what kind of number she's expecting, but I think for us only being releasing stuff for 3 months now, we have 20 something episodes. Like I think that's doing pretty good.
I think so too. I really do think so too. I don't know if my expectations were super low. Clearly they were, but hey, it just makes for a happier time when I get proven wrong. The only time I'm okay being proven wrong.
Yeah, I definitely was like, I'm very happy with those numbers, and I was like, that I think tracks. I have a delusional part of my brain that was like, what if it's like just a million listeners like within the first month? But obviously that
Oh
didn't
no.
happen. So
No,
yeah.
no, 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 no.
I think 725 is definitely a good realistic number.
Yeah, I do too. I'm proud of us. I'm very proud of us.
Hmm.
And thanks for being on this ride with me.
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah.
all of our listeners.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We love you so much, especially the ones in Russia.
In Poland. There's a couple in Poland.
Some Poland?
Uh-huh.
Wow. This is exciting stuff. I think this is the best thing ever. I'm geeking out. I need to calm down just a little bit.
Well, I'm glad that you like this code. We'll do this then every quarter. We'll do like a little update. I think that's
Yeah.
good too because I think that's kind of has transparency with each other and our listeners. Kind of
Yeah,
like
I
this is what we're
agree.
doing it, and yeah.
I agree. Also, it'll because kind of the reason why I am proud of us too is because we have been it has been us promoting it, putting it on socials, just doing it right on our own, and finding a schedule, like figuring out like schedule this post for this, and even like finding time. Sometimes we're behind and some stuff like that. It's cool to see how much effort we have put in to
Mm-hmm.
see the results of that. And I definitely know I can put in a lot more effort. So it is exciting, or like kind of lights a fire up my ass being like, okay, if we can better that for
Mm-hmm.
Q2, I can just do even like 2% more than I feel like
Yeah.
we could better at, you know?
And I mean, the short or like the little reels on Instagram, and they don't get a bunch of engagement, but they get a lot of views.
They do get a lot of views.
So
I'm
that
very like surprised by that.
those trailers or like shorts, reels, TikToks that you upload, that's the Instagram is where they get the most views.
Okay.
Because I
Got it.
think the most views one of our shorts has gotten on YouTube is like 500 maybe. And
Okay.
then on TikTok, the most views one of ours has gotten is like 1,000.
Okay.
And then I know a couple on TikTok I've gotten like I think 2,000 or
Yeah.
like
Okay.
1,500 around there. So
You mean on IG? Is that right?
yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I don't know. Just gotta mess around with the algorithm just a little bit more.
Yeah,
And I'm up for the task. So
we'll
that's
do
really
it.
cool. Yay.
That's all I got for Q1.
Nice. Well, that is our review
Yeah.
and our shortest episode to date, which is great.
Yes. Do you have anything for the press release? Because I just had like a couple of things.
Not really. But I could. Do you want to go first?
Yes.
Okay.
So there's one that was an announcement. It was on the wrap about AMC. So it says AMC is going to release an anthology franchise called The Great American Stories. And I'll read you the first little blurb from this article on the wrap. It says AMC is developing a new TV franchise called The Great American Stories, which will kick off with a limited series adaptation of John Steinbeck's classic novel, The Grapes of Wrath. So Roland
Oh.
Jones, who did Interview with a Vampire, is going to adapt the book for this initial season. So the AMC Interview with a Vampire show,
Yeah.
and then they'll oversee the whole franchise with Mark Johnson, who was the overseer of the Anne Rice Immortal Universe for the AMC network.
Okay. Watch that.
Yeah, and so each
That's
season
really
of the
cool.
anthology is going to be devoted to a different celebrated work, historical moment, or individual narrative celebrating and highlighting the American spirit. So I'm curious about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I am too. I really am. So it's gonna be like a mini series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
where each one's different.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I'm up for that. That's really cool, actually. Anything else?
I saw that Logan Lerman is joining season 5 of Only Murders in the Building, and
Yes.
that's along with Renee Zellweger, Christoph Waltz, and Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the casting for this show truly blows my mind, and I can't believe I don't watch the show. I think it's just so fun, you know. Do you enjoy it? Because you watch it.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
The last season, I got a little like I was afraid that was going to be
Okay.
redundant,
Okay.
but it wasn't.
Okay. I mean, I feel like they got some real good like comedy heavy hitters in there for it to not be redundant. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Logan Lerman, one of the reasons too I put this down is I kept thinking, I still have not watched Thief, but I thought he was the other actor because it kind of looks like him,
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, I could actually see that a little bit. Yeah.
but it is not him.
No, unfortunately not. I feel like I would watch Dope Thief more if it was him.
I think I would too.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I gotta get onto this Murders in the Building show.
You really should.
I will. I'll try. I will. Anything else?
I got two more things.
Okay.
One is The Last of Us that's coming out this Sunday, April 13th on HBO, season 2. And then Paradise has now, as of April 7th, every Monday will be airing on ABC at 10 p.m. So if there's any of our listeners who don't have Hulu, they can start watching it on network TV. And I just wanted to point that out because, like you were saying, Hulu is really pushed for some of these shows to be aired. And so I wanted to mention that for our listeners.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's great. Shout out to Hulu or whatever that parent company is for Hulu and ABC. I think it's ABC. For getting that on network TV. Or Disney. It's probably Disney. I don't know.
It's Disney technically, yeah.
Okay, it's Disney. Yeah, I feel like it's also an Emmy campaign push that they're putting on network TV, which I think is cool.
And a smart idea. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's what I had. I just saw those and I was like, little interesting information coming out. Updates.
Yeah. I like that. I guess the only thing I gotta add is the John Hamm show coming out Friday. Your Friends and Neighbors. And because I will check that out. And then I don't know if you want to tell the list. We have told everybody about Hacks and that that's the next show we're reviewing. Do you want to give them the info on like how we're gonna do it this time, or do you want to do that next week? Because
we
that
can do
does
it next
come out
week.
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, that comes out this week, which actually will be the day before this episode comes out, April 10th.
Saturday?
No, Thursday, April 10th.
Oh, Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
But so we're going to review that. We are going to start a little behind schedule, but next week we can say the dates and everything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, so we're still doing the 1 episode a week releases, so don't look out for a review episode for Hacks, you guys.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, this I think second shortest episode.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was free. My mind didn't have to think too hard. I loved it.
Actually. I like our vibe based episodes.
I do too. We need to come up with more, and we will.
Yeah, and we should also have call of action for the listeners for let us know what your favorite shows have been so far. Yeah. Are any of them ones that we've recommended? Are there ones that we haven't talked about that you recommend?
Yeah, I like that.
Let us know. Yeah.
And then maybe we could also do a call because I have a friend, Hannah, who I know listens. Hi, Hannah. And she DM'd me a topic suggestion. So maybe I'll also do that call of action, like a suggestion box. Either on stories or I feel like stories. I feel like get more interaction response from what I see on IG. Of if you guys want to suggest any topics that you're interested in. I don't know if it's too soon for that, but I liked her suggestion.
Yeah, no, I mean because we have our own kind of running list of topics, but we'd love to have more options, and then we can also make sure we keep track of who suggested it, so we can give credit where credit's due when they come around.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do both.
Okay.
IG. Okay. Cool. Well, have a great week, you guys, or weekend.
Yes, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch.